I need to tell you something that's been keeping me up at night lately. I've been watching the supply chain for over a year now, and what I'm seeing has made me completely rethink my pantry. 3 weeks ago, I completely reorganized it because major distributors are sending out discreet warnings about 11 products that could soon be in short supply. But nobody's talking about it in the media, and not even your neighbor knows. Only the people who transport the products know what's coming and are preparing. And I want you to be ready too. All of this became clear to me last Tuesday while having coffee with a logistics manager with 23 years of experience at one of the largest distributors in the Southeast. He showed me his internal communications, and item after item was flagged with red alerts, limited production, raw material shortages, and transportation problems. And he told me something I won't forget. If you're not adjusting your inventory yet, you're already late. That same night, I called all my contacts in production, distribution, and retail, and the confirmation was clear. These are the 11 products you really need to stock up on. Get it now, before it's too late. The information in this video is for informational and personal planning purposes only. It does not constitute official financial or emergency advice. 11. Butter. The butter shortage isn't due to a lack of milk, but rather because processing it is less profitable than making cream for cheese, ice cream, or coffee. Staff shortages at factories also reduce production. That's why, when costs rise, butter is one of the first products to disappear. But there's a trick. It freezes perfectly for up to a year without losing flavor or quality. Buy it when it's on sale. Store the sticks in their wrapper inside an airtight bag. And only take out what you need. I have 18 kg in my freezer, and my family doesn't even notice. That way, while prices go up and down, you'll always have butter on hand. 10. Canned tomatoes. California produces almost all the canned tomatoes we use in the United States. But this year, it's facing its worst water crisis on record. And many farms have had to cut their planting in half. This has meant that supermarkets are only receiving about 67% of their orders, while tariffs on tomatoes from Mexico prevent them from making up for the shortage. In stores, some varieties have already disappeared, and prices have skyrocketed. What used to cost $99 now goes for $1.50 a can. To avoid running out of basic kitchen staples, I always buy several cans and distribute them among different stores, rotating the ones I have at home. This way, I keep my pantry stocked with sauces, soups, and stews without being overwhelmed by price increases. The key is to be consistent, anticipate, and not depend on just one supermarket. 9. Pasta. The pasta you love now costs a lot more. And it's not just because of a brand, there's a whole perfect storm behind it. Durum wheat, key to quality pasta, suffered from droughts in North Dakota and Montana, lowering its protein content and forcing producers to use more for the same result. Add to that the fact that shipments skyrocketed. Fuel prices rose 42%, and there's even a shortage of boxes and packing tape. That's why many of us have learned to store pasta in different shapes, long, short, or small, each ideal for different meals, keeping meals varied and easy to preserve in airtight containers. Today, what used to cost $30 a pound now costs over $250, and some stores are approaching $250 per box. My advice? Every purchase is a saving for tomorrow, so fill your pantry and experiment with all the different ways you can. 8. Canned fish. Canned fish such as tuna, salmon, or sardines is becoming more expensive and harder to find due to overfishing, climate change, and complicated logistics. Often, only farmed salmon is available, which has its own problems, and processing plants are operating below capacity, driving up prices. Even so, these cans are a nutritional treasure trove, packed with protein and omega-3s, ready to eat without cooking. Storing a few, like I do with 120 cans, ensures a nutritious food that keeps easily for 3 to 5 years. Perfect for emergencies or home supplies. What foods do you see disappearing? Answer in the comments. 7. Cooking oils. The oil we use every day, from vegetable to olive oil, is more expensive and scarcer than ever, due to the war in Ukraine and Russia and the growing demand for biodiesel. What used to cost $100 can now exceed $8, and olive oil is almost $25. To avoid running out, I made a small stockpile at home, storing it in a cool, dark place, because light and heat ruin it. Having oil properly stored isn't just a luxury, it's key to cooking, frying, or preparing your salads without surprises. 6. Peanut butter. I never imagined peanut butter could be scarce, but today it's almost a luxury. Bad weather in the states that produce most peanuts has damaged much of the crop, and high demand for oil leaves less for butter. This makes it a valuable food. Rich in protein and calories, it's incredibly versatile, perfect on its own, in bread, or in quick recipes. In emergencies or power outages, it becomes the star of the kitchen. That's why I always keep jars on hand, check expiration dates, and rotate my stock. It's not just a treat, it's a little lifesaver packed with energy and flavor that never disappoints. 5. Powdered milk. Powdered milk might seem like an odd substitute, but it's a lifesaver when fresh milk is scarce. While it doesn't taste the same when drunk straight or when cooking or baking, it's virtually indistinguishable. Production is expensive, and many manufacturers are cutting back as global demand continues to rise, especially in Asia and Africa, limiting local supply. Proper storage is key. Forget the carton, use airtight bags or containers, and it can last up to 20 years. To start, mix half fresh milk and half powdered milk to get your family used to it, and then use it in pancakes, cakes, and soups. It works for everything. With an investment of around $150, you can build up a huge supply that will save you in any pinch. Subscribe for more free information. 4. Rice. Rice is always on the survival list, but today the situation is different. India, the largest exporter, has limited its sales, and other countries can't meet the demand. Meanwhile, the United States is facing droughts and costs that are driving up prices. A sack that used to cost $15 now costs over $22, and premium varieties have gone up even more. My strategy: 136 kg of different types of rice. White to store for decades, brown for nutrition, and jasmine or basmati so you don't get bored. Store it in sealed buckets with oxygen absorbers. That way it lasts 30 years or more. Buy regularly and rotate your stock. Adding 1 or 2 bags at a time protects you from future price increases and shortages. 3. Canned beans. Canned beans, whether black, red, pinto, or chickpeas, have become more valuable than ever. Drought in places like North Dakota has reduced production, and canning plants are working at full capacity, competing for space and facing shortages of cans and labor. This makes fulfilling orders slower and limits supply, driving up prices. What used to cost less than $1 can now cost even more. Exceed $1.50 or even $1 for organic versions. Still, beans are a reliable protein, easy to store, last for years, and are extremely versatile in chili, soups, salads, or burritos. 2. Coffee. Although many think of coffee as a luxury, in times of stress, a good cup can be a psychological lifeline. Its production faces serious challenges. Frosts in Brazil, droughts in Vietnam, and excessive rains in Colombia are affecting supply just as demand continues to rise. This has caused prices to skyrocket. What used to cost $8 can now cost as little as $1. That's why having a small, well-stored stock of coffee not only protects your wallet, but also your daily routine and well-being. Store the beans in a cool, dry, and dark places. And if you can, vacuum seal them so they last longer and each morning remains a moment of normalcy amidst the chaos. Before revealing number 1, share this information with your family. 1. Oats. Oats, whether rolled or instant, have become essential in our pantries, but their production faces challenges. Droughts, extreme rainfall, and problems at processing plants have reduced its availability. Furthermore, the growing demand for oat milk and healthy products has led stores to offer fewer brands and much higher prices. This cereal is not only versatile for breakfasts, baking, or even as a thickener, but it also provides fiber, protein, and energy that lasts for hours. With proper storage in airtight bags or special containers, oats can be preserved for up to 10 years, making them an incredible resource for emergencies or survival. I personally keep 45 kg of oats, both rolled and instant. Enough for hundreds of meals and long-term peace of mind. Remember, this video is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to cause alarm or fear.